Okay. So quickly, I'm just uploading the documents here. Okay. In your drive. Two folders will be there. Okay. One folder will be with the documents name. Another folder will be with the name called labs. Okay. In the lab folders, I'm uploading that two document, whatever we referred till now. Learn how to launch an EC2 instance, right? That we checked yesterday. And other than that, create a new AWS data account. So these two documents I uploaded here. Okay. So anybody tried to connect to EC2 instance using the PuTTY or SSH or the browser method? Have you tried? Anybody? No?
Hello?
Yeah. Want to say something? Anybody?
No, actually, I'm not saying this.
Okay.
Is the class started?
Yeah, class is started. We are continuing.
Okay then. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
So nobody like till now done. Okay. AWS account, all of you have got now. AWS account is created with all of, or anybody still have to create AWS account. Okay, you created. What about others? Anybody who still have to do? Okay, so if the AWS account is ready, right, then you should try by launching the EC2 instance and connect. Okay, and now I uploaded the documents also in the lab folder, so you'll be easily able to see. Okay, and you can follow this document to launch the EC2 instance, everything. Okay, now let's see a little bit theoretical part of the Linux. Okay, and then we'll continue with again some lab. Okay, so let's start a little bit some point discussion, okay, of the Linux. So basically, see that Linux, whatever we are talking about, Linux history, have I shown you these things? Anybody can confirm? Is this thing I taught you yesterday or no? Okay, I taught you. Okay. So then I taught you, I think, up to here, right? This part I did not discuss. So I just discussed these things, right? Anybody can confirm? Okay, great. So now once we got that, there are the what is the Linux based operating system are like Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Ubuntu is there, CentOS is there, right? So now to communicate with any of the operating system, there are two ways, either with the CLI and either with the graphical user interface. So currently I am accessing my Windows laptop by clicking on this button or this button like this, right? So this is the graphical user interface where we are seeing everything graphically. Okay. And if we are communicating with our Windows laptop with the help of this command prompt, okay, where I am writing some command like ipconfig and we are getting some output. So these all things basically comes under the CLI, command line interface, okay, where you are communicating with the help of the command. Now the question is, if somebody is going to ask you which one will be faster in the processing, what do you think? That CLI will be faster or graphical user interface will be faster? Anybody? Like if you want to see some data or something, what do you think? Which one will be faster? CLI or graphical user interface?
Graphical user interface.
It will be faster.
Yes.
Why so? Any specific reason?
You just open your browser and do your stuff. Command line interface. You need to write your command and stuff, and then
No, it is not like faster in that sense. Faster in when
then
say I'm writing the command like dir, right? So if I'm pressing enter, so it is showing all the list of directory, everything, right?
yep,
And if we are clicking here in the file explorer, here also we'll be seeing all the list of things, right? But here we require some processing. Okay. Processing power like CPU power, processing power, graphical user interface like GPU. All of you know about the GPU? Have you heard about GPU? There are two components in our laptop, right? One is the CPU, one is the GPU. Have you heard about GPU? No? Graphics card? Heard about that?
graphics card. Yep, graphics.
Yeah. So why we require the graphics card in our laptop? Like if I go 5 years, 6 years, 7 years back, is the card was so common in the laptop? All the laptops were coming with integrated graphics card only, right? But now all the new generation laptop is coming with the separate graphics card. Okay. And they are saying we are giving you 4 GB graphics card, 8 GB graphics card like that. Why? Because you know that when you are going to play a game or you are doing the video editing or something like this, you are doing the work which is more graphic extensive, right? Where you are using more graphics things. Okay. In that case, you will require high processing unit, high processing power that your CPU is not capable of. Okay. So in that case, we require the graphics card. Okay. So similarly, if you are using the graphical user interface, that means you will require some graphical power, right, to see all these things. But if you're talking about the black and white screen, so we don't require any graphical power to see all these things, right? Because I'm not seeing the logo, I'm not seeing any images or something there. Right, so definitely it will be more faster as compared to your graphical user interface processing, right? If I am going to give the is just take an example, we are going with some basic laptop, okay, basic laptop of 2 GB, 4 GB RAM configuration, like the basic CPU is there, basic graphics card is there, okay. And if we are going to give them two work, one work is you have to edit the video on that particular laptop, and another work is you have to just play a audio file, okay. So which one will be more easily can be done by that laptop? Playing that audio file, because audio file does not require the graphics involvement, right? So computer can easily handle the basic thing. But if you talk about the high level video editing or something where we require high level graphics power, that cannot be done by that, right? So that's why when we are talking about two things, CLI and graphical user interface, always understand that CLI will be faster as compared to the graphical user interface because here graphics involvement is there. Second thing, if you are thinking that I am clicking on this file explorer, okay, and I will ask you that can you create a new folder inside a directory, right? So what you will be do? You will come to that particular directory first, okay, and then you will do the right click, then you will click on new, then you will click on folder, right? And after that you will rename the folder whatever the name you want to do so, because in the starting folder will be created with the name called new folder, okay. But if you know the command line interface, okay, if you know the command line interface, how to create directory, then you have to simply write a command called mkdir and then the directory name, and your directory will be created. That means if command I know, then I don't have to go to that particular directory, do the right click, click on new, create a new folder, and then edit it. We don't have to do it. If I know the command, I can easily do this. Okay. Second thing, even if you are doing the graphical user interface way, okay, to create the folder, like doing the right click, then clicking on new, and then clicking on create new folder, that doesn't mean that they are doing it in the graphics side only. In the back end, they are changing your graphics out command, whatever you are typing using the mouse, okay, they are converting it in the code. So basically when you do here, right click and click on new and click on folder, everything in the backend they understand that okay, you are writing the command called mkdir new folder, because they are converting your graphical user interface input, okay, to a command. And once they will convert it in the command, then that particular thing they will send it to the kernel will change it in the machine language like 0 and 1 format. Then your hardware will say that then your hardware will say that, okay, I can create a folder on top of my storage, and then they will create the folder. Again, they will convert this in the graphical user interface type of the thing. Okay, and then we'll be able to see that one new folder is visible here. That means involvement is there. Every step they are changing. Okay, so flow will be like this only. I written somewhere, I think. Is it? I did not written. Okay, so let me just type it. Like what is the flow will be. Like even if you're using the graphical user interface, flow will be graphical user interface. It will be converted into CLI command in the backend. Okay, and from that command that they will go to the kernel. Okay, and that kernel will convert it in the machine language, and from there it will go to the hardware. Okay, and hardware will create the folder, because folder, whenever you are creating the folder, right, where this folder is getting created, is this folder is getting created on your laptop? No, this folder is getting created in a hard disk present in your laptop. Is this making sense to all of you? That whenever we are creating a folder, we are saving some document, it is getting saved in the hard disk, not in our laptop. It is getting stored in the hardware component, that is hard disk. And once they will save it, again they will convert it back in the machine language output. Again they will convert it in the CLI command. Again they will convert in the graphical user interface. Okay. But if we are writing the command line directly, just think like this. We are now not using this. We are just using this, right? So whatever the processing power we were spending, right, to convert the graphical user interface code to the CLI and CLI to the graphical user interface, that we are not doing this, right? That's why you will see in the market, then whenever we are talking about the Linux machine, okay, we don't go with high level of graphics or something, because Linux does not require that much high level of graphics, because we are not going to use the graphics. You will be using the black and white terminal, right? And if you're using the black and white terminal, then why you will require the graphics card for high processing everything? Okay, so that's the thing. And that's the reason why Linux is faster also. Now, other than that, if we talk about the features still now of the Linux, so first thing, it is open source, that we already discussed from the first class. Okay, that it is freely available, anybody can see the code, anybody can use the code, there is no problem in that. Second thing, Linux is secure. Okay, now how Linux is secure? Okay, so let me try to understand it. So secure part, you can just think like this. All of you downloaded some zip file from the internet. Have you downloaded zip file from the internet? Anybody? All of you know about zip file? Yes, yes, okay. So zip file, whenever we download and when we extract it, so is this contains only the file that we are interested in, or they contain some extra files also inside this after extracting? Extra file comes there, right, after extracting. Maybe one or two file is related to application and all other files are just a extra files, right, whenever we are extracting the zip file. So sometimes what happens, whenever you download the zip file from the third party website or some another website, okay, which is not that much safe, then what they will give you is, they will give you your software, right? They will give you whatever the application you are finding for, they will give you whatever the movies you are finding for, right? But they will include a virus also inside this zip file. That means when you are going to extract, along with all the files, a extra virus file will be also extracted in your laptop. Okay, extra virus file will also come to your laptop now. Once you extracted this virus file in your laptop, right? So definitely take an example. What we'll be doing is, I went to some website, I downloaded a zip file. That zip file, I kept it inside this particular directory, DevOps training. Okay. Now inside this directory, I extracted that zip file. So once I will extract this, that then a directory like this will be created, and inside that all the files will be visible. Okay. Since in this directory now there is a file with the virus came. Okay, so now what will happen in the Windows laptop is that virus will try to affect all the files present inside this directory. That means all the files which are present inside this directory, everything is going to be affected. okay, in the Windows laptop. And once all the files will be affected in this particular directory, then what this virus will do is they will try to come out of this directory. Okay. Now once they will come out of this directory, then they will see that this many directory and files are again present. So they will try to infect all these things. Once they will infect all these things inside this folder also, then again they will come out and then they will infect all these folders, whatever we are seeing here. Okay. And once they will infect all these folders also, okay, then again what they will do is they will come out of this D drive. Okay. And then they will infect the E drive also, then they will infect the C drive also. Okay. Now just tell me, what do you think? If the C drive is going to be infected with the virus, what will happen with my laptop? Anybody? If the C drive got any file,
Windows will get corrupt.
Windows will get corrupted because your entire Windows is located in this C drive. Okay, and that's why people always suggest, like, see, from the childhood we are learning that okay, never try to download the files directly from internet in the C drive. Just create a new drive like D drive or E drive and there try to download the files. But it is just a usual thing. We are doing it, but we are not thinking of that why we are not downloading directly the file in the C drive. Why we prefer go with the D drive or E drive. Because we know that in the D drive or E drive virus will come, so at least it can affect only one or two folder, and once that folder or directory will start to affect, we'll get to notice and we'll try to delete it. Okay, but if we are directly downloading it in the C drives, in some time what will happen, they will corrupt all these files, and since all these files will be corrupted, all the application, all the software will be gone. And then there is only one option, you have to reset your entire laptop, your all the data will be lost. So that is the problem. Now, once we saw that, okay, these are the problem in the Windows laptop. Now, how Linux is making it easy? So Linux say that I designed the entire operating system in different way. What different they done? So they said that I separated every directory. Okay, I separated every directory. For every directory, I given a different permission. Okay. So the problem will happen is like in the Linux also you downloaded some file. Okay, in this particular directory. Okay, and you extracted the zip file and virus came. Well and good, virus is present here. This virus is going to affect all the files present inside this directory. Okay, and they will affect everything present inside this directory in the Linux laptop too. But in the Linux laptop, when they will try to come out of this directory, okay, to affect all the files that is present outside of this directory, they will be not able to do so. Okay, because Linux have their firewall created, okay, at every folder structure. So without permission, you cannot jump from one folder to another folder. And when I will be teaching you the Linux, that time I will explaining you that what is the permission, everything we are talking about. But all the files have separate permissions. Okay, and if somebody don't have the permission, you don't have the power to go, you cannot reach to that particular directory. And if the virus will not have the permission to all other directory, they will be not able to reach that. And our in the worst case scenario, what can happen? All the file present inside this directory will be corrupted. That's it. But in case of the Windows laptop, what can happen? In the worst case scenario, all the drive, all the data will going to be corrupted. That is the one thing. And that's why Linux is more secure. Okay. Second thing, how many people are using the Linux in the world? If you talk about the total persons in the world are 100. Okay. So approx 70 to 80% people are using the Windows laptop. That we all know, right? Around 15 to 20% people are using around Mac OS and only 5 to 6% people are using the Linux. That's it. Okay. So now if some hacker will try to attack, okay, or they want to access some data, they want to target a group. So why they will target a group of 5 to 6% population? Okay. If they want to hack, they will always try to go with the larger population. Okay, that is also one of the reason that attack is less. Okay. And even in the worst case scenario, they are going to attack the Linux, right? They are going to attack the Linux machine. So what they can do? They can access only one folder. Okay, like once they will log in everything, so they got the access of one directory or something. Again, if they want to access the another directory, again they have to do the entire hacking process again. Similarly for another directory. But in case of the Windows, what happens once you will got the access of the laptop, you can access the entire thing in a single go because there is no other type of the permission internally they have. Okay, that's why we say that Linux is more secure, and that's why company preferring this. Okay. Third thing, simplified updates for all installed software. Like if I'm going to say you that this is the Google Chrome installed. Okay. Now, if I want to update this software to the latest version, what you will do in the Windows? Anybody? If I want to update the Google Chrome to latest version. Have you never tried to update it to the latest version? Have you never installed a software or updated a software in the Windows? Anybody? Because everybody is blank totally. Yeah, so you did it, right? So now, how you did it, right? Like if I'm going to install a software or something, what is the usual thing we do? Or if I want to update the software?
Download the software and install it. Just click on the button and then it will
Okay,
install
that is for
on the
installation. And
directory.
update, and update.
So
Like
if
if I want
there is
to,
any update, then it's the same process like
like you will
remove the
uninstall
previous
the.
one. It will uninstall the previous version and then install the new update
Okay, okay. And now for downloading, where you are downloading that file from? You are
in
downloading
any.
from different websites, right?
Yeah,
Now, if I'll tell you that in the Linux, if you want to install a Firefox, you have to simply hit this command, yum install Firefox. Is it easy or difficult? If I'm saying you that just this command is going to install the Firefox in your laptop.
that's very easy.
Similarly, if you want to update it to the latest version, I'm just typing the command that you have to type the command called yum update Firefox and your software will be updated to the latest version. How easy it is, right?
Yeah,
Similarly, if you want to uninstall it, I will simply write the command yum remove Firefox. That's all. Your Firefox will be removed. That's it. So if we know the concept only, install, update, remove, right? So I can install the software also, update also, remove also. And just this software name will be keep changing. Firefox, Chrome, whatever the software name in the future we are going to learn. Okay. Only the software name is going to change. This command will always be the same. Getting it?
yep,
All of you? So that's why I said that simplified update for all installed software. We can install the software easily. We can get the updates also easily. Okay, just we have to run the command called yum update. But in Windows, everything it is really difficult. You have to uninstall. You have to find the latest version. You have to download it. You have to install it again. Okay. And see, for the basic software like Google Chrome or something, you can do that, right? You can uninstall it and again you can install and you can do with the Google login, all the credential will come back, right? But if you are using some different browser, so we save so many password in our browser, right? So it is not feasible that we are going to uninstall that entire particular application and then we are again installing back because all the data will be lost. Okay. So that all are the problems. Fourth thing, it is the lightweight. I already said you that there is no graphics involvement is there in the Linux. Okay, most of the Linux comes with the black and white terminal. So definitely it will be lightweight. They will not require high RAM, high CPU, everything. And that's why yesterday when I launched the EC2 instance, if you remember, that EC2 instance was running with one CPU and 1 GB RAM machine. If you will ask me that can you run the Windows with 1 GB RAM, it is not going to work, right? But Linux, we can do entire thing in the 1 GB RAM itself. That is more than enough. The next part, uh, the next part was the multi-user and multitask. So if you remember the theoretical part, we started the discussion that Linux was created only for one reason, right? To their goal was to create an operating system which can do the multi-user and multitask work. Multi-user means multiple user can work parallelly, okay, on the same system, and multitask means multiple applications, multiple softwares, multiple packages you can run parallelly, okay. The last option is the multiple distribution. Okay. That means we have so many options available in the market. If you want to use the Linux, we can go with the Red Hat, we can go with the Debian, we can go with the Fedora, we can go with the Alpine. Like this way, there are so many different types are available in the market. Okay, so these all are the things. And why Linux over Windows? So this all virus explanation I already discussed you. Okay. Okay, so now the coming to the part how the Windows and Linux is communicating. So in the Windows also, user is going to write the command, everything. User is going to do something. They will communicate with the shell. Shell is the command prompt here. Okay, in case of the Windows, shell is nothing, just a command prompt. So as a user, I am writing some command here. Okay, and it is showing some output. So basically, user is communicating with the command prompt. Command prompt is communicating with the operating system kernel. Okay, and they are communicating with the hardware. Similarly, in the Linux also exactly same flow. User will be writing the command in the shell. In Windows, we see it as a command prompt. In Linux, we see it as a terminal. Okay, so we'll open a terminal and we'll write the command there. That command is going to communicate with the kernel. Kernel is going to communicate with the hardware. So that will be the flow. And why Linux is faster? Because in Linux, we directly write the command. But in Windows, we use graphical user interface to do the work. So Windows internally converts the graphical user interface command to the CLI command in the backend. And that's why it's required little bit heavy task, and that's why it's become slower. Okay. Now there are some basic terms also you have to understand. Okay. Like in Windows, we say that I am going to create a folder. Okay. In Linux, we say that we are going to create a directory. Okay. In Windows, we say that we are going to create the administrator account, or you are the administrator of your Windows account. Can you give the administrator password? Can you give the administrator permission? Similarly, in Linux, the person who is having all the power of your Linux laptop is known as the root user. Okay, so if we are talking about the root user, that means he is the person, he is the admin of the Linux machine, he have all the power. Okay. File, we say it as a file only. In Windows also, we say that we are going to create a file. In Linux also, we say that we are going to create a file. In Windows, we say that we are going to install the Firefox software. Okay. In Linux, we say that we are going to install the Firefox package. So in Linux, we say software as a package. That is the difference. But the works are exactly same only. What is the work of folder is there? Exactly same thing, directory is there. But in Linux, we just say it as a directory. So up to here, any confusion? Anybody? All good up to here? Okay. Now we are going to see a little bit about the file system hierarchy part. Okay, so to understand this, like in Windows laptop, no matter which Windows laptop you are using from which companies, okay, but when you will go to the C drive, right, you'll see that some of the folders are present in your Windows laptop also, like program files, program file x86, users file, Windows file, recovery file, right? Perflogs. So this will be present in your machines also, in your Windows also. Why so? Because this all directory comes with some specific use cases. Like when you install some software, this software are getting installed in this program files. Okay, and we are able to see all the software that we installed in my laptop. In your laptop, we installed some different software. So list of the software will be different, but all the software will be located inside this particular file only. Okay. Similarly, if you'll come inside the users directory, in my case, username is Royki. Okay. In your case, your username will be something different. Okay, but it will be located in the users directory only. Okay, that means we are following some structure to do the thing. Okay. Similarly, in Linux also, we have some file structure that we follow. Okay, and we are talking about the file structure like this: slash root, slash home, slash boot, slash etc. All these directory have their own use cases. Okay, so if we'll try to understand with the slash home directory, okay, so see, your Linux laptop can be used by two persons. Okay, one person will be the admin user who have all the power, basically the owner of the Linux machine. That will be the root user. Okay, another will be the guest user. Guest user can be anything: John, Jack, Roy, anybody, right? So two persons can access either the root user or either the guest user. If the guest user are accessing the data, right? If the guest user is accessing the system, Linux system, What they will do is, if they want to download some files, if they want to create some files, if they want to use the directory, right? So they will not have the permission to use the directory called /root. They will have the permission to use the directory called /home. Okay, that means if there is a user with the name John is there, okay, and he want to create files, okay, in the Linux laptop. So what he will be doing is, he have only the permission to create the directory inside the home directory. Inside that there will be a directory with the name John will be there. Inside this only John can create any file. Similarly, if there is a user Jack is doing some work in the Linux, so what he will be doing is, if he want to save the data, he cannot save the data in the John directory. He will be saving the data in his own name, that is the Jack directory. So as a Jack user, you can only access the directory that is present with the name called Jack in the home directory. Okay, so it will be flow will be like this. There will be a base directory called home. Okay, if your username is John, okay, so you will be have the power to go inside this John directory that is located inside the home directory. Similarly, Jack will be writing everything inside the Jack directory, and similarly /home/Roy. This is for the Roy person. Okay, if this John will try to see the data of the Jack user, he will be not able to do so. Okay, if Jack user want to see the files that is present inside the John directory, he will not able to do. Okay, similarly, Roy user cannot see the data of John and Jack. They can see their own data. That's it. Okay, but now if there is a root user is coming, root user, that means admin. Now, will the admin will be able to see the data of the Roy, Jack, and John? So yes, admin can do anything in the Linux machine. Okay, they will be able to see the file created by the Roy also, Jack also, John also. They can delete the file also. They can create more files also. Everything they can do it. And by default, if the root want to do anything, he can do it in any of the directory because he don't require any permission. He's the admin. Okay, but by default, they try to do all their work in the /root directory. Is this three thing is getting clear to you, all of you? That by default, this root can work in any of the directory, okay? But usually they do it in the /root directory only. But if they want to do it inside this directory also, they can do it easily because they are the admin. They don't require any extra permission. Fine? So this is about the /home and /root directory, okay? Then there is a /boot directory, okay? So whenever we power on the laptop, right? So it takes time. Okay. Previously, when we have only the normal hard drive, SATA hard drive, so it was taking around 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minute time to just to boot up the laptop, right? But now once the SSD is implemented in the laptops, now the laptops is getting powered on in the like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 10 seconds, like that way. Okay, it is taking very less time. But whenever you are powering on the laptop always checks the /boot directory. Okay, and in the /boot directory, all the files related to that particular operating system will be present there. And with the help of the boot directory only, they will be able to understand that whether all the hardware components are there or not. Either I am able to communicate with all the hardware, RAM, CPU, hard disk or not. Okay. So this boot file is important. If somebody by mistake, they will delete the boot folder. What will happen is, if we are going to restart the laptop again, your laptop will be not restarted. Okay. Because you lose all the boot file, and boot file always requires whenever we power on the laptop. That's why we should not never delete this boot directory. Similarly, there is a /etc directory. Okay. So when you install some software, right? So we have to do some configuration to that, right? That whether that software is going to install at which location, okay, whether we want to create a shortcut of that particular software or not. So all the configuration related things will be by default saved in the /etc directory. Whatever the configuration you want to find for, you want to do some changes, always go inside the etc directory. Now, whenever you are installing some software, so by default in the Windows, all the software are getting installed in the program files directory. Similarly, in the Linux, all the softwares are getting installed in the /usr directory. And whenever you download the software, some optional application software also get downloaded along with that. So all the optional software get downloaded in the /opt directory. Okay. Other than that, there is two more interesting folder is there, that is /bin and /sbin. Okay. So to understand this two directory, let me first open the Ubuntu. So this is just a terminal, okay, of the Linux machine, and that is running on top of my Windows laptop. Okay. This is a Linux machine. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that what I done. This is just a normal Linux machine. Okay, and currently this machine is running on the Ubuntu operating system. Okay, but if you'll try to see here, if you're talking about slash, so these all are the directory which we are currently discussing: home, boot, etc. Right? This all directory we are seeing. Now we are going to see the use case of this bin and sbin directory. Okay. So now the question is, if I'm going to write the ls command, it is going to give some output. If I'm writing the date command, they are giving some output, right? If I'm writing the pwd command, they are giving some output. But if I'm writing kisan, they are saying command not found. If I'm writing roy, they are saying command not found. That means this type of the software are not present, right? Now the question is how Linux is able to know that date is a command but kisan is not a command, right? That is just an interesting question. Because how Linux can understand that if I'm typing date, this is a command, ls is a command, but if I'm typing like this is not a command. How they are able to do? Double L is a command, but triple L is not a command. How they are able to understand that? Okay. So for understanding all these things, Linux have a directory called bin. Okay, they have a directory called bin. Linux say that whenever you type any command, okay, whenever you type the command like ls command, pwd command, date command, what I always do is I go to the bin directory. I go to the bin directory, and in the bin directory, I listed all the commands already. Okay, like this. And they are saying that whenever you are typing the command, when you are typing the ls command, I always find here inside this file. And since I got the ls command here, then only I understand that ls is a command. Similarly, when you type the command called pwd, right? Then I found that this command, then only I'm understanding that. Okay. Similarly, if we'll talk about some other command we done, right? So whatever the things you are seeing it here, right? It is written here. Like if I shown a date command to you, right? So let me just find for date also. So see here date is written. That's why I am treating it as a command. Okay. So that means Linux is always going to check the bin directory. And if your command is present in the bin directory, then only they are going to show the output. Is this making sense to all of you? Okay. Now how the Linux is knowing that whether this is a command or not. Okay. Is this clear to you? All of you, please respond. Is the bin directory concept is clear? What happened? You are not able to understand all of you? I try to explain it very simple, right? That normally I went inside the directory, I written some command, I manually found it also. Okay. This type of the explanation you will not get it easily. Similarly, there is a command called fdisk-l. Okay, let me just type a command called fdisk-l. See, I am writing this command. They are saying permission denied. Okay, that means I don't have the permission to run this command. Okay, I don't have the permission to run this command. They are not saying that this command is wrong. Okay, they are not saying that this command is wrong. They are saying you don't have the permission to run this command. Okay, what is the meaning of this? Currently, I am logged in. I am doing some command here as a which user, root user or guest user. So currently, I am logged in as a Kisan user. So now the question is, Kisan user is treated as a root user or it will be treated as a guest user? What do you say? Like I said, you right, John, Jack, all these things will be the guest user. So similarly, Kishan will also be the guest user, right? He is not the root user. And since you are not the root user, you are not able to run this command. How they are able to know that this command you cannot run as a normal user, but this command you can run as a normal user? So they say that I have a directory with the name called sbin. Okay, they say that I have another directory with the name called sbin, and I always check the sbin directory also. Okay, and if some command like fdisk-l command, let me just show you fdisk command, right? So if this command is written in the sbin directory, then it means this command can only be run by the root user. Is this making sense to you? That the command which is written in the bin directory, it can run by any user, but if the command written in the sbin directory, it can run only by the root user. Is this fine? Okay. So now if I will try to run this command, so first I have to become the root user. So again, I'm writing some command to become the root user, and I will hit my password for root user. And now since I become the root user, now you see that I become the root user, root at the rate, right? That means I am currently the root user. And since I am the root user, now if I'll type the command fdisk-l, I don't have to worry about, I will get the output. All the output is coming. All the hard disk connected, all the RAM, everything they are showing it. Okay. The C drive 256 GB, E drive something 256 GB, whatever the things are connected, everything they are giving the proper output. But as soon as I'm becoming the normal user, again I become the normal user, and I will type the command called fdisk-l. So again they will say permission denied, because this command you can run only as a normal user. But as a root user, I can run all the command. I can run the ls command, I can run the pwd command, because I don't have any limitation. Limitation is always with have the guest user. That as a guest user, you cannot run this command, fdisk command, because this command requires the permission, and that only the root user have. Okay, so these are the explanation. Okay, so all of you did not try the how to launch the EC2 instance and how to connect it using the 3 method. Now I uploaded the document. Simply come to the lab folder, okay, inside that drive, and come to this particular page, learn how to launch EC2 instance. Follow these all screenshot one by one, okay, and do this practical. Which command I am running in Windows or PuTTY? This command you are talking about, that the Linux I done it, this one.
Yeah, all the Linux
No, this
commands.
is the totally different thing. I installed the Ubuntu in my laptop. Okay, so Ubuntu is just a software here. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so you can install the Ubuntu. Back in 2019, Ubuntu have a deal with the Microsoft Windows. Okay,
Okay.
that from the Windows 10, somebody want to use the Ubuntu, they can simply go to the Windows Store. Okay, basically the Microsoft Store we are talking about. Okay, and in this Microsoft Store, you can directly search for the Ubuntu software. Like we download the normal software, that you can also do. And you can download the Ubuntu software, and it will act as just as a normal software. Like Ubuntu. See, this is just a normal app. Okay, you can come here, you can install it. In my case, it is already installed. That's why it is coming as open. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But to install this software, there are some requirement is there that your laptop should fulfill. Okay, so if you read this, you will get it. Okay, this software is basically should be present. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we are
Just
not
out
going
of
to use this.
curiosity.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
not going to use this for any of practical. Practical will be doing
Yeah.
it from this EC2 instance machine only. But still, if somebody want to install that, okay, so you can simply search for in the Google Ubuntu for Windows. Simply search like this. Okay, and you will go to this particular link and you can just follow it, what they are saying it to do it on the Windows 10. Okay, you will follow all the
Yeah.
7 steps, it will be done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then thanks all of you. Have a nice day.